Hello, and thank you so much for joining us today. We're so pleased to share this webinar, helping clients cope during the holidays financially, emotionally, and physically. There's so much going on during the holidays, so we've put this session together to help you help clients have a better holiday season. And we hope you'll stay tuned because we have some important announcements at the end of the webinar. We always have new people to our community each month for this free webinar. So we like to begin just by reviewing the basics so that everyone understands why we provide this every month. An overview of the financial social work model is that it includes ongoing financial education, motivation, validation, and support. It is highly experiential and it is a behavioral model because until and unless behavior changes, nothing changes. It is interactive, introspective, and strengths-based. It works beautifully individually and or with groups of people, and many of our graduates use it to provide financial therapy. Here you will see that we understand that financial problems are about much more than money. We call this our financial wellness model that begins with the fact that it's really the foundation of financial wellness begins with a person's relationship with his or her money and self. The reason is it's those relationships that drive a client's financial behavior. And it's the client's financial behavior, how he or she earns, spends, saves, shares, and borrows, that absolutely determines the client's financial circumstances. It certainly took a long time to come up with this specific formula or view of what it is at the essence of financial wellness. And we want you to know that it's between clients' financial behavior and their relationships with money that true change happens. It sounds a bit simplistic. I understand it is definitely not, but this is the essence of it. So, financial social work incorporates transformational learning along with the trans theoretical model of behavioral change. We understand how well these two models work together to contribute to long term personal and financial growth and change. We won't spend much time today discussing the specific details of how unhealthy many American adults' relationships with their money and their financial circumstances are. But we do just want to say how unstable financial circumstances jeopardize mental, physical, psychological, financial, and all over well being. This particular graphic shows how financial stress manifests. And you can see just by the percentages how much financial stress contributes to physical problems. So we'll talk a little bit about financial healing and wellness, and then we will get into the main presentation. Here we just take another quick look at the role of self-awareness, self-confidence, self-acceptance, self-respect, and self-esteem. These are critical because if you don't feel good about yourself and deserving of a better life presently and in the future, you're not likely to be as willing to do the work and put in the effort required. Then we look once more at behavior, which, as already indicated, incorporates how we earn, spend, save, share, and borrow. It does have this other piece of lending and planning, but we don't incorporate that into the basics of financial social work. So, financial healing requires addressing the emotional, physical, mental, and psychological damage and challenges of having financial problems. They are many and they need to be healed. And the only way to do that is by addressing them. And we continue to reiterate that financial problems are about much more than money. So, this is our financial healing model. It's all about rethinking and realigning your relationship with your money and with yourself. And ultimately, the goal of this work is to help clients make friends with their money and make friends with themselves. Financial healing precedes financial well being, but they work together to create a better financial future. Financial well being definition, there are many different ones, but for our financial social work populations and communities, we believe that embracing the financial component of your life so money is not a constant concern and stressor captures the essence of financial social work and what clients need to create financial well-being and to feel and be more in control of their money in their lives. So now we get to the main presentation. It's the most wonderful time of the year. The holidays are here. It seems like they started a very long time ago as Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas decorations appear earlier and earlier every year. But is this really the happiest time of the year? We know it's a time for giving, receiving. It's a time of excitement and joy, celebration and spirituality. Unfortunately, it's also a time of overspending, worry, sadness, guilt, depression, and loneliness. It's a time of overeating, over commercialization, missing families and friends, and lots of stress, financial, emotional, and physical. So let's start off by just taking a quick look at the holiday shopping guide for this shopping season. 5 in 10 people say that they're better off financially this year than last year. 37% of people say they spent more than $500 on holiday shopping last year, and 33% say they plan to spend more than $500 on holiday shopping this year. 41% of people say they would pay extra for some peace and quiet this holiday season. And the majority of people you can see don't think Black Friday sales are anything special. Would you agree with that? Here you can see that 60% of people say they will pay in full by the due date on their credit card for the debt they incur over the holidays. 10% feel they'll pay by New Year's, and 15% say they'll pay by Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, statistics prove that some people take longer than a year to actually pay off their Christmas debt. The leading most wanted gift for 2017, here we go, gift cards. And from everything I've read, it's unlikely that people will be giving bigger gifts this year. Smaller gifts seem to be what people are planning to give. And more people plan to donate to a charitable cause this year than last year, which is always good. So now we come to the 4 components of holiday health: financial, mental, emotional, and physical. And this is what we're going to explore. Why some clients are holiday unhealthy. Much of this revolves around unrealistic expectations for the holidays. Those unrealistic expectations lead to experiencing financial worries and stress. The worries and stress manifest physically, which then manifest and contribute to emotional imbalance and ultimately causes clients an unhealthy holiday season. So here we'll now review the Financial Social Work 5-step client holiday health system. We begin by addressing holiday health proactively to develop balanced expectations. Then we discuss the dollars and cents, the financial aspects of the holidays, then address the financial, emotional, and physical stress, and finally make a plan and work that holiday plan with the goal of increasing the client's potential for greater holiday health. So, step number 1, address holiday health proactively. Here you see pictures of families and co-workers, everyone just having a wonderful time at the holidays. While we all know this is unrealistic and even photoshopped, clients may feel and believe that that's what the holidays should look like. So the difference between how we think we should feel at the holidays and how we really feel affects client holiday health. More than a third of people have previously self-harmed at Christmas. Over half have considered self-harming. 45% of people have expressed feeling suicidal and considering killing themselves at the holidays. And almost 60% of people have suffered from panic attacks. And 76% have difficulty sleeping. It's a very stressful time. Consciously or unconsciously, most men and women have unrealistic expectations for the perfect holiday. And no matter how good the holiday may actually be, if it doesn't match those expectations, disappointment is inevitable. So while we understand that it's natural to reflect, to remember friends and family we've lost, to long to be with loved ones from far away, and to feel sad being unable to give more generously, and especially we know that a lot of regrets surface at this time, but clients need help understanding that. They also need a safe place to talk about the challenge of thinking that everyone else's holiday season is better than theirs, to discuss either their lack of holiday plans or how overbooked their holiday schedule is, the things they have to do but don't want to, the people they have to see but don't want to see. Allowing clients the safe space to explore these topics can contribute to real holiday health. So when we help clients understand that no one's Christmas is like the movies and that most people struggle with their own issues at the holidays, but rarely talk about them, then we begin to help clients rethink the holiday season. We can help clients identify how they feel about the holidays, what they expect from them, what they may actually like about them, what they really don't like about them, to explore their hopes for the holiday season and their fears and concerns about the holidays. Help them understand some of the causes of an unhealthy holiday season: sadness, fatigue, stress, anxiety, illness, money problems, overindulgence, and inadequate social supports. And these are things we can help clients improve upon. So, step 2, develop balanced expectation. I thought these were too perfect not to share with you today. So we expect this beautiful turkey dinner. That's what we see all over the media. But instead, you can see this much less attractive Thanksgiving dinner. We want to bring the children to a beautiful, handsome Santa Claus and take beautiful pictures of our children with Santa. But instead, there's so often not the greatest Santa, crying children, and again, very different reality than what we expected and hoped for. Here are beautiful gifts when the wrapping actually is often nothing like that at all. Here's the perfect lighting on a gorgeous holiday house when, regardless of how hard we might try to design something attractive, it really rarely turns out that way. So, after learning clients' feelings, expectations, and hopes for the holidays, work with them to create more realistic expectations. Help them understand not everything will be wonderful, but not everything will be terrible. They can focus on their own thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, and less on what others think, say, or feel about them or about the holidays. They can fill their own needs when and if others are less than available or willing to do that. And they need to remember that no one can change anyone else, only themselves, and to see the merits in changing their own thoughts, feelings, and attitudes about themselves and about the holidays and being less dependent on others. Step 3, discuss the dollars and cents. According to consumers, on average, they expect to spend $1,189. I think that sounds a little high, but of course, it includes decorations and food, not only gifts. That amount is up 6% from last year, and people say that their salaries have increased, and they believe that the unemployment rate has decreased, and so they're feeling more confident about spending the money. Some of the statistics I share with you vary from different surveys, so you can determine which of those numbers you think is most realistic. An estimated 25% of people will make the choice, and you can see the X's because these are poor choices, to withdraw money from their retirement savings, to take money from their emergency funds, to take payday loans to buy holiday gifts. This is probably the worst of all. Payday loans are the worst of all. And 50% of people plan to overspend even if they did make a holiday spending budget. So consumers plan to do a mix of online and store shopping. They do anticipate building debt over the holidays, and some expect it could take 6 months or more to pay off that debt. And we already looked at some statistics on that. Spending more does not equal greater appreciation, according to a study published in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology. An expensive gift doesn't necessarily translate into more appreciation, especially if it's something the recipient can't use or didn't want. So encourage clients to only spend money they've saved, not to build debt, to plan their holiday spending ahead of time and stick with that plan, to track their holiday spending, to not shop sales or auctions because research proves that when you shop sales or auctions, you traditionally spend more money than you planned, and to only spend money on products or services that align with their beliefs and their values. If you were to spend $929 on holiday gifts this year and put all of your purchases on a credit card charging 18% interest, if you took 1 year to pay that off, the payment would be $1,022. So $93 paid in interest, thrown away with nothing to show for it. And if someone carries that balance a second year, it's $184 of money thrown away down the drain, because you always pay more for the privilege of spending money you haven't earned. Encourage clients to avoid buy one, get one free or half price deals, to avoid buying a certain amount of something for X amount of money. If you don't need 6 of the item, it isn't really a bargain for you. Have them avoid buying extended warranties. Research shows they're very rarely used. Have clients avoid store credit cards because store credit cards charge the very highest interest rate. Definitely have them avoid deals that sound too good to be true, because they probably are too good to be true. Encourage clients to choose to celebrate with experiences instead of stuff, to share what they have but don't use by either donating it or selling it, to spend less to make their gifts, to avoid too much alcohol, caffeine, or food, to donate their time, and to encourage others to donate their time. Step 4, address financial, emotional, and physical stress. 8 out of 10 Americans identify money as the number one stressor in their lives. And this is the time of year when that stress surges. Holiday gift giving is stress. Shopping, choosing, worrying whether the person will like it or be appreciative, or should I spend more, or should I regift? Lots of questions, lots of guilt, and lots of stress. Financial stress negatively impacts physical health. It depends, of course, on the degree and the duration of the stress, but initial symptoms may start out as headaches and increased number of colds, but over time, those symptoms may intensify and lead to ulcers, obesity, diabetes, hair loss, heart disease, high blood pressure, even tooth and gum disease. Financial stress impacts emotional health with anxiety, depression, insomnia, feelings of hopelessness and helplessness, shame, and anger. There's panic, OCD, fear, nervousness, guilt, a lot of emotional stuff going on when we're experiencing significant financial stress. I wanted to share this chart because it's something I've never seen before that identifies how specific emotions, where they actually manifest and impact us physically. So I thought I would share that with you. So financial stress negatively impacts emotional health because worrying about that triggers more stress, reduces resilience against mental health problems, and mental health problems decrease self-control, increase spending, and seriously damage financial judgment and choices. The emotional effects of stress are increased forgetfulness, difficulty making decisions, a loss of sense of humor, greater irritability, more moody, more frustrated. All of these things come into play when we're struggling emotionally. Step 5, make a plan, then work the plan. So this is the final step in the 5-step financial social work system for client holiday health. We want to begin by helping clients recognize the benefits of planning for the holidays. We want to help clients rethink their feelings, attitudes, and expectations for the holidays. Then we want to help clients adapt by developing new skills and tools for a healthier holiday. And finally, we want to help clients make a plan and work that plan consistently, because only by staying consistent will the plan work. So, a very simple holiday health plan. Help clients make a commitment to a healthier holiday and to creating a holiday spending plan. Help them set some short-term goals for the holidays. We already talked about creating a holiday spending plan. They need to schedule time to make and to work on the plan, to incorporate and practice self-care and mindfulness, to identify and eliminate spending triggers. Important to avoid toxic people and places at the holidays and all year round, and to continue to assess and reassess their progress, their commitment to their plan. I thought this was a great series of graphics from Happify, and they could be very helpful to you. So, how to leave your worries behind. 86% of people consider themselves worriers, and 2 out of 5 people say they worry every day. And the amount of time spent in worrying averages close to 2 hours. Worrying, stress, it hurts your heart. Over the long term, you're at greater risk for a heart attack. It hurts your brain. It could boost your risk for Alzheimer's disease. It harms the people close to you. It can certainly intrude on personal relationships, and it chips away at your memory capacity. These are all kind of a big deal. So, worrying less, we can practice yoga, mindfulness, greater spirituality, meditation, and very important, as I mentioned earlier on, is getting more sleep, eating better. I thought that decluttering was a particularly useful tool of the 5 shown here, to spend 15 minutes tidying up your space, because clutter does contribute to anxiety, which contributes to stress. Practicing gratitude is helpful every single day of the year, but especially at the holidays. Here we look again and see avoiding sugar and processed foods, eating more healthily, and scheduling quiet time. We saw at the very beginning of this webinar that a large percentage of people said they would pay extra to have some quiet time at the holidays. These are the last few tips here for worrying less. Get a pen and brainstorm solutions to your worries. I particularly like note and accept. When a worry comes to you, label it as in, oh, that's a troubling thought, and then move on. And perhaps the best of all is to make an appointment to set aside a certain amount of time to think over your worries. So during the day or whenever your worries pop up, you just jot them down and add them to your list for your worry time. Regifting. Research says to get over the regifting guilt. Giving someone a gift you were given but don't like or want is becoming more acceptable. An American Express survey said that 79% of respondents believe that regifting is okay during the holidays. They polled 2,000 people last year and found that 25% of them said they had regifted the previous holiday season. There's an organization, Money Management International, which is actually a consumer credit counseling agency that has the regiftable.com website for over 5 years. They declared the third Thursday in December to be National Regifting Days. I believe they did that because that's when most holiday parties occur for the holiday season. And you can see this research comes from Frank Flynn, a PhD professor, and he felt that by having a regiftable.com or a regifting National Regifting Day, remove the stigma of wrapping up a gift you were given and giving it to someone else. So we're all familiar with the fact that it's the thought that counts. So I'm going to share this with you, and you can take it for what it is, but oh no, they say now it's not the thought that counts. A study in the Journal of Experimental Social Psychology showed people are more appreciative when they receive a gift they explicitly requested. And Dr. Nicholas Epley says it turns out it's not the thought that counts, it's the gift that counts. I'm not so sure of that, but I thought it would be interesting to share it with you. So now we will finish up with 25 holiday health skills to share with your clients. And we also have this in our handout for the webinar. Help clients stop romanticizing the holidays and be more realistic. Have them prioritize their goals and activities. Avoid family and friends who are toxic, unhealthy, or unkind. Give yourself permission not to accept invitations to party or events you don't want to attend, and to stay present. Staying present is key to a healthier holiday. Help clients find new ways to enjoy spending time with themselves, to reduce their alcohol, caffeine, and sugar intake, to go window shopping or do other low cost, no cost activities. Encourage them to create lists of no cost, low cost activities should they need them. Have them plan something for the future that they'll look forward to. And we reiterate here to eat a healthy diet, to volunteer to help others less fortunate, to spend time with others who are supportive, also to not spend time with people who are not supportive. Tell them they can say yes. Have them give themselves permission to say yes, to say no instead of yes when they want to say no, not yes. Have them not take on more than they can handle, and encourage them to ask for help when they need it from professionals or from trusted others. Encourage clients to do nice things for others, to focus on what has and is going right for them, to look for as many opportunities to laugh as possible, to get enough rest, and to practice gratitude. To make their own playlist, to create a list of favorite movies to watch, to be kind to themselves, to set healthy personal and financial boundaries, and most of all, to remember that the holiday season will eventually end, as it does every year. So to close, we would like you to know about our financial social work certification that includes 20 CEUs from the National Association of Social Workers. The cost of the certification is $595. But for Thanksgiving, we have offered you a thankful $100 discount, making the cost of the certification $495 through midnight, November 24th. We hope you will recognize that as a meaningful discount. It is the only one we are offering for the rest of the year. We rarely offer discounts, but we are thankful for all of you who are a part of our financial social work community. We will not have a webinar in December. We will be back here in January of 2018 and hope that you will join us then. Thanks, everybody, and have wonderful, wonderful, beautiful holidays. And don't spend too much. Bye now.